Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, the Detroit Pistons beat the New York Knicks 100-94. Great win for the Pistons and ending one of the longest droughts, or the the longest playoff drought, of playoff wins. The Detroit Pistons have not won a playoff game since 2008. That ends tonight, and they tie the series up at 1. They should be up 2-0 right now. But a 21-0 run happened in game 1. And the Knicks went on another run in this game today. Detroit had a double-digit lead, and the Knicks, came back and were able to bring themselves back in the game. They were down 88-75, and the final score was 194. So the Pistons barely held on in this game, but Cade Cunningham played great. And then I said this before the game. What you need from two players tonight who did not particularly play well in game 1 are two of your best players, Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham, to play better in game 2. And if you get that, you will win. And that's what happened. Cade Cunningham had 33 points and 12 rebounds. Was the first guard, or maybe just first player in general, Pistons player in general, to have a 30-point double-double in the playoffs since Chauncey Billups. I think it's guards because I saw the list. It was Isaiah Thomas and Chauncey Billups, but might just be Pistons players. I think it is guards, but Cade Cunningham was terrific tonight. 11 for 21, 1 for 4 for 3, 10 for 12 from the free throw line, 2 steals. For a guy who played 42 minutes and had the ball in his hand almost every possession, probably every possession that he was on the floor for, he had only 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers is bad, but I think when you're playing almost the entire game and have the ball in your hand every possession and are seeing a lot of double teams, 5 turnovers doesn't seem that bad when you really go over it like that. And then Duren, I talked about Duren needing to be better in this game than he was in game 1. Now, I said you need to stay out of foul trouble. He didn't really do that, but still had 12 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, and a great game for him. 3 blocks as well. Tim Hardaway Jr. had a great game 1. He played less in game 2. 21 minutes, shot 0 for 8, 0 for 6 from 3. Asar Thompson also played really good in game 1. At the same time, when you got guys like Duren and Cade Cunningham who played bad in game 1, and then game 2 comes around and th're playing really good, you're going to have some guys that played good in game 1 not do so good. And that was offensively for Asar Thompson and Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley. Those guys who were so good in game 1 did not show up in game 2 today. But that didn't really matter as much because you had Tobias Harris, Duren, Cade Cunningham, and Dennis Schroeder do what they did tonight. So Asar Thompson, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, fouled out, 21 minutes as well. Getting to Dennis Schroeder, 6 for 10, 3 for 5 from 3, 20 points, 3 assists. I think it's so cool to see him play so good in the postseason playoffs like this. When you saw how much he was passed around at the trade deadline, look, the reason he was traded from Brooklyn is because they were a selling team, and he was playing really good basketball, and the Warriors were trying to switch their team around. You got traded away from the Warriors. He was playing bad, and then after that, we saw him got traded, and the Pistons picked him up and made a smart move, and he's played solid basketball there, and he looked good in game 1. Not as good as he was tonight, but looks good in game 1. He continues to look good. 20 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 6 for 10 from the floor, 5 for 6 from 3, 3 for 5 from 3. 5 for 6 from the free throw line, 3 for 5 from 3, and you're gonna have Dennis Schroeder play like this. It's dangerous for this Pistons team. And you'd hope if you're gonna have Schroeder play like that you'd have Malik Beasley play good as well. But that just didn't happen tonight for the 6th Man of the Year finalist. 9 points, 2 for 9, 1 for 8 from 3, 4 for 4 at the free throw line. Just a reminder, he scored 20 points in game 1. But yeah, and Paul Reed, no Isaiah Stewart. Paul Reed, a guy that was on the Philadelphia 76ers team last year, just like Tobias Harris, who lost in the first round, got some minutes tonight and looked good. 3 for 4, 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 1 block. Some good minutes for Paul Reed with no Isaiah Stewart. And then speaking of Tobias Harris, that second 76er, or I'd say that first, I would say Tobias Harris is the first 76er, and then Paul Reed is the second 76er that were part of the 76ers that lost to the Knicks in the playoffs last year. Tobias Harris, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 6 for 11 from the floor, 1 for 4 from 3. He's played terrific in this series, and that has to feel good for Tobias with his struggles last year against the Knicks that really, really costed the Sixers in their series last year, and really he got a lot of hate for it, for how bad he played. And I'm sure. Here's the other thing I will say. I'm sure it has to feel really good for Paul Reed and Tobias Harris to win this Game 2 in MSG after what happened in Game 2 last year against Philadelphia. Last year, Philadelphia had a collapse at MSG Game 2, and the Knicks came back and it was a nail-biter, and they won. And I know that probably had to really hurt them last year when they were on the 76ers. So for the two of those guys to go and get a Game 2 win against the Knicks, I know that had to feel good after what happened last year in Game 2 against the Knicks. But outside of that, the only other guy that played for the Pistons was Ron Holland, who played 5 minutes, but the only numbers he had was 1 personal foul. Knicks tonight, Mikal Bridges had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, 8 for 18. Karl-Anthony Towns was horrendous. And, if you guys remember last year, he actually had some home struggles in the playoffs last year in Minnesota. He was good in Game 1, but not tonight. 10 points, 6 rebounds, no points in the second half for Karl-Anthony Towns. He played the entire fourth quarter with no shot attempts. Jalen Brunson, amazing tonight. 37 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 12 for 27, 4 for 12 from 3, 9 for 11 at the free throw line. Josh Hart, 40 minutes. I talked about last game, Game 1, how Josh Hart, minutes, he's a guy that's going to play a lot of minutes, and his minutes were kind of low in Game 1. I thought that was good for him. And tonight, Josh Hart's getting back up there in those high minutes, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, with 1 steal and only 1 turnover for Josh Hart, 2 for 6. Miles McBride, or Deuce McBride, 3 for 7, 13 minutes, 8 points. Cam Payne was so amazing in the first game. He played 4 minutes in the first half, picked up 3 personal fouls, never saw him again in the game. Mitchell Robinson played 20 minutes tonight, 7 rebounds, was great on the rebounding end, had 4 offensive boards, 1 assist, looked pretty good. And then Landry Shamet played 5 minutes, but the only number he put up was a turnover. DNPs for PJ Tucker, Precious Achiuwa, DeLon Wright, and some of their other players. Honestly, if I were the Knicks, I would look at potentially giving Precious Achiuwa some minutes. He's a guy that looked pretty solid for the Knicks in the postseason last year. I don't know. I mean, who do you not give some minutes to? Is it Landry Shamet? Obviously, it's not going to be Robinson or McBride, but I'd look to give Precious Achiuwa some minutes. But that's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section, and peace out.